One of my most enjoyable activities recently is scour the chains and look for new DeFi protocols. Now, I'm not talking about only novel stuff, I'm talking about even protocols that build on top of each other, add new tweaks, new features, so on and so forth. You don't have to be super novel to be unique, right? That's not the exact equation here. And I'm talking about real yield driven stuff, not the degen part, all right? That's very important, and that's what I like to dig into. There's always a good place for you to park your funds, and you need to find the optimal option for you. Today I'm going to introduce you to one called GMD. This is built on top of Arbitrum and an Avalanche as well. It's very interesting. It has added features, and perhaps you're going to enjoy what you're going to be watching here. My main goal today will be to give you a full-blown overview, but a very simplistic one, without getting too technical, because there is some technicalities here. Now, if you look from a first glance at the user interface, you might find it familiar. It's mainly because GMD has used GMX's user interface and they changed it a bit. GMX has been on Arbitrum running for a while now. They are the first perpetual DEX. They generate a lot of revenue from traders exercising their trades, mainly leverage trading on their platform. And that's how they make fees. And hence why several protocols have came up with the idea to build on top of them, specifically leveraging their liquidity index into their own and make something new out of it. And that's what GMD did. So I'm gonna give you right now, without going into the full DApp that we can touch base a bit later on, the full TLDR and everything you should be aware of. To understand how GMD works, I'm gonna take you back to the roots of the protocol. So first things first, they released a token, ticker GMD. They gave it a total supply, and at the beginning, they basically allocated the supply. Portion was set aside, portion to liquidity, and portion to the minters, because at the beginning you could only mint that token. So people were minting that asset using USDC, BTC, Tether, and ETH, because all of that money that is being used to mint GMD was put aside. So as soon as GMD reached a capped supply, at that point in time the price was set in stone, so to speak. So they basically raised capital, GMD was minted, and all of that money was made use in a split to buy up the GLP liquidity index on GMX. So index, by index I mean, so GLP is basically an LP that is backed by several assets, including BTC, ETH, USDC, USDT, Link, etc. There are, I think, 2 more, and that's on the GMX platform. The price of GLP depends on the performance of the underlying assets. So basically, if BTC and ETH pumps, of course, GLP would go as well in price. And not only that, the price is also dependent on the performance of the traders, because if traders make money, they're gonna take money out of the liquidity and GLP will drop in value. If traders lose money, that money will be put on top of GLP and they make money and GLP raises in value. So that's how GLP stakers on GMX make money, from the APR that is set aside from the fees earned from the platform, plus the price performance of GLP if traders make money or lose money. So that is just a small TLDR on how GLP works. So all the money raised through the minting of GMD was put in GLP, a portion in the reserves, a portion was basically staked in the background to earn fees for all the GMD stakers. So, quick thought here. GMD stakers have been earning an APR, and that APR is based on the performance of GLP, so the fees pulled out from that initial pool, the fees pulled out from the reserves that were taken at the beginning that are also in GLP, plus fees generated from the protocol owned liquidity reserves. And that is coming in from all the trades that are being made on Uniswap, specifically when the initial GMD tokens were put aside for liquidity, paired with BTC, ETH, Tether, as well as USDC. So all of these fees packaged together are being reverted back to the GMD stakers minus a 30% performance fee that is given to the team. So that's very important. So the fees that are earned by GMD stakers is not the whole thing. There's a portion that is taken by the team. So in essence, you could really think of the team taking 30% of the performance fee plus deposit fees, and that's what I'm coming at next. To deposit GMD into the staking pool, you're gonna pay a deposit fee of 0.1%, but if you wanna withdraw them, very liquid transaction, you don't pay anything. So right now, because all of the GMD has been minted, you can only buy that on the open market. So the price is completely dependent right now on its underlying performance in terms of yield, correct? So that's the logic here. But doesn't end here. You not only can earn yield from staking GMD, you can do so by also leveraging what they call their GMX and buffer vaults. Now the GMX vaults, you can stake any of these four assets, USDC, BTC, Tether, and ETH, but underlyingly they're gonna buy GLP and give you yield back. Now then you would ask yourself, so why would I do that? Why would I not just go to GMX, exchange USDC to GLP, for example, stake it and earn that yield? In the GMX vault here, there's also additionally some money coming in from the POL. So there is a small added value, but there's also a small downside, is that you're going to pay a 0.5% deposit fee, and that 0.5% deposit fee is going to be basically used, I think, to mint and redeem GLP as well as gas fees. So all of these deposit fees, I don't think they're going to the team specifically, but more or less used to cover the cost of operating the platform altogether. And there's also a buffer fee. Now, Buffer Finance is a binary trading option decentralized protocol. So the similar stuff, leveraging the liquidity pool token to earn some fees for the people who stake there. So this is, in essence, a very simple way to enter GLP without going into the whole learning curve. You can use any of your assets to enter it instead of just USDC, for example. And you can compare, right? So you can compare what is the yield in GMD versus the yield of actual GLP and GMX. And then you can make the conclusion. You can make a split, you can wait more there or wait more there. So you're gonna be the one to decide where is the better yield generation option for you. Now, without running the risk of rambling too much, because I wanted initially to just give the TLDR, I didn't want to get into the white paper, all of that stuff. There is, of course, more technical language inside the white paper. If you want to get into that, you can do so. That's not an issue. I have it linked below. I have the initial site link below, but whatever I just covered basically gives you everything you need to understand as a beginner, at least / intermediate, so to speak. So again, if you want to learn more about the ins and outs, you can go ahead and visit the white paper. And yeah, like I said, the user interface is something that you most probably have seen if you've been a user of GMX. Basically, everything you need to know is on there in terms of simplicity when it comes to staking your assets. You know, for example, here is where you stake your GMD. They also have a similar model to GMX. They have an escrowed version, which also earns you fees. And this one actually has been allocated. So they're doing several allocations to this. It's also visible in the white paper. And these are the vaults that I spoke of. So if I go to the GMX vaults, you can clearly see where you can stake. So there is indeed a cap here, but you can also bypass this by pairing your GMD tokens. So the underlying GMD version of USDC or ETH directly on Uniswap, and then you're gonna be earning those fees as well if you connect your wallet and stake it. So there is a bypass situation here that you can do, and you can always redeem them, by the way. So that's also something important. So if you enter with USDC, you're not stuck. You can stake and unstake anytime. That's not an issue. So like I said, the APIs are displayed here. Yes, sorry, not APRs, APIs. So you can compare them, for example, to what GLP is offering right now. So that's also very important. So they also are launching new stuff. They apparently, I didn't know this as well, they apparently made a new launchpad, and there's a project that launched on their launchpad, which is nice. I assume some of the fees that this launchpad has generated is gonna roll back to the stakers of GMD most probably. And they also have a vest and lock option where you can put in your GMD and you can earn potential airdrops. So they stated here as well. So conclusion, it's a decent platform. The yields are nice. It's not very complicated to enter and exit. Everything is displayed in front of you. The only caveat, if you want to buy GMD and stake it, is GMD's price action. And if I go to CoinMarketCap right now, without looking at the detailed and a smaller frame, you can clearly see that the chart has been in a major uptrend. Not gonna lie, it might be a bit risky to go in right now. So perhaps it's a bit advisable to wait for a dip, because if you look at GMX's performance, unfortunately right now it's not doing really well. And this ultimately depends on GMX's performance. 90% of the platform relies on GLP. So if GLP does good, GMD does good. If the opposite occurs, then there could be an unfortunate situation. So hopefully this doesn't happen, and I'm hoping that GMD has a plan B to where to take this yield in case the unforgivable happens. All right, so that is the underlying risk that I wanted to highlight. And with that, thank you if you stuck around till the end, and if you haven't as well, thank you for having you in. See you in the next one. Have a good one.